You could create hours creating the perfect piece of content, the perfect script, posting it, but if you never create any call bookings or applications off the back of it, then you're going to find it incredibly hard continuing to grow your business. We need a means of tracking all of the leads across your social media accounts so that you have a means of following up with them, resurfacing them, nurturing them, and turning them into a lead that flows into your inquiry process and eventually books a call and pays you money. Now, with your whole sales process, we need to think about what the next step is that we're essentially selling someone into, and the lead management system will help us do that. We want to never miss out on a lead across social media, and we want to make sure everything's tracked so it's easy to follow up with them. Inside the platform, in opportunities, we then build a board called lead management. We then have a few different columns, and the first 3 are fully automated. A means of tracking all lead magnet downloads. We even give you the funnels and the follow-up systems. Leads that opt into STS chat, so they're the leads that comment and DM keywords in return for being sent free resources. And then leads that are just a general social media lead. So a lead that just generally engages and messages on social media. So for example, if I was to opt into a funnel and download a lead magnet, or maybe you're running ads and I opt into a lead magnet through ads, I will then appear in this column. We then have a whole follow-up system off the back of that to follow up with email, with SMS and or WhatsApp, and then even outbound call the lead. So chances are of a lead opting in and then moving into a call booking is incredibly high, or at least us having some form of conversation with them is incredibly high. Then we have STS chat. This is a great way of creating inbound conversations from social media and essentially monetizing your audience. So this is when you post content, people DM and comment keywords that then in return captures their email and gives them a free resource. So your email list builds so you're not reliant on just a social media platform, and then you give them a resource so that they're nurtured even more. All these leads will then appear here. What we then also have is social media lead. So if the lead hasn't opted into a lead magnet, they haven't messaged or DM'd a keyword, they've just messaged or they're just essentially starting a conversation, they'll then appear in social media lead. So we can then make sure that you're never having to track everything manually and you're never missing out on the lead. What we then want to do is we want to then give you the means of when you're having a conversation with them to then make sure that they're categorized so you never miss out on a lead again. This is then why we build these next few columns. A manual follow-up column. So for example, if you're then in an opening message with them, if you're in a conversation, essentially if you're just starting to get into a bit of a back and forth flow with them, then move into here. Now we actually have an AI appointment setter, which can essentially replace a setter and a human in your DMs, so it can automatically move them into this column. The whole goal of the AI appointment setter is then asking qualifying questions, getting to know them, then bringing them round to the point of offering them a consult call. And when we do that, they'll then appear in this offer a consult column. So this then means that we've offered them a call. We've proposed the possibility of booking in some form of call. Now, when the call is booked, they could then automatically move to call booked, and then they're in this column here, and they enter into all of the automations in the inquiry process, which we actually have another video on that on our page. Now, if they then can't get moved into a call booking and they generally don't really have a high chance of converting, they'll then just move into dead lead. Now, the big thing here is not disregarding those dead leads completely, because they could then be sold another offer down the line. A Black Friday offer, a Christmas offer, a lower ticket offer. They could then be sold something else down the line, or potentially then just be resurfaced when you let out a new lead magnet, share it with them, and then you can pull them back in. So this whole flow then means you know exactly where all of your leads are every single week. Now, in order to do this, we have the automation section where we have all of the automations folded and built out for you. Now, the main ones that run this process would be STS chat and lead magnets, which essentially move all of the leads around automatically, which I'm going to show you a couple of them now. For example, our version of STS chat essentially replaces ManyChat for a fraction of the cost. And as always, there's no limit to the automations that you can run. With ManyChat, you get charged on contacts, and there's limitations, and you end up having to pay more. With ours, no limitations, run as many automations, as many contacts, no extra fee. We build out all of the necessary chat sequences on Facebook, on Instagram, and even on SMS and WhatsApp, so you can then start automating your lead flow on those platforms too. If we were to look at Instagram, this is then a flow that we could build. So what then happens here is you post a piece of content that has a call to action at the end to comment a keyword, or even you then post it on your story and get them to DM a keyword. They can DM you, they can reply to a story, and this would then trigger it. If they then come from a comment, we want to automatically reply to their comment, and we can create numerous different variations so it doesn't look robotic. There's numerous different outcomes. So if I comment this or my friend comments the same thing, we could get a different answer so it looks manual. We then want to add them to the pipeline so they're categorized on that sale, on the lead management pipeline, tag them so we know what lead magnet they came from, and then send them an Instagram DM. That Instagram DM, we want to capture their email and ask for their email address. And then we want the system to wait 1 hour. If they haven't replied to this message, we want them to come down here and get sent another follow-up. So then we can make sure that all of the inbound leads are getting pushed through to the next step and they're not then dropping off. What we then want to do though, is if they do reply, we want to check that they've replied with their email. The same here, we want to check that they've replied with their email. If they haven't replied with their email, then we don't want to share the resource with them yet, but if they have, we then want to share the resource. This then means that we're capturing emails so we can build a list separate to social media so we're not reliant on that platform to grow our business, but then we also have a means of, one, creating sales through email and also retargeting them through Facebook. Now, the benefit of using STS Chat as opposed to a lead magnet funnel, which we're going to look at here, is the fact that it keeps it in a DM conversation. Conversations create calls, and we want as many calls as possible, and it's easier to keep everything in a chat sequence rather than getting them to fill out a form and then having to reach out to them. However, we give you both. When people opt in to your lead magnet forms, we can tag them, add them to the board, send them an email, and then send them a follow-up SMS and WhatsApp too. Then they'll also go into your email list and then get even more content because we can build out an automated nurture sequence that sends out content automatically across a period of time. Now, you guessed it, with the lead magnets, we even build out the funnels for you. So inside websites and forms, we have our funnels, and then we have all of the different funnels for different outcomes. For example, the lead magnet funnels, so you can then run these to get lead magnets and opt-ins essentially. Now, you'll see that the way that funnels work for lead magnets is we want a simple 2-step opt-in. So the initial page is the opt-in, and then the second step is the thank you page. So the lead opts in, they then move to the thank you page, and on that thank you page, they then get a video and the lead magnet, and then they get the option to book in an exclusive call as well. The call can then be positioned as exclusive, as an additional value add, so then you can get more call bookings, and they feel like it's part of the lead magnets. Generally, your show rates would be higher too. And we even then build out the funnel for you. So it's literally drag and drop, tap and edit the words and literally change the colors. So you can then rename this to your lead magnet, add your social proof, so that then you have some proof behind the lead magnet and you position yourself as a bit of an authority. Then alongside that, as soon as the lead opts in, we want to instantly give them the resource. You'll notice that we then redirect to a thank you page. On the thank you page, we can add an image or video about the lead magnet that they can then download. And then you'll notice just below here, we then embed your calendar and position the calendar as an exclusive call specific to those who have opted in, so to help them maximize the lead magnet. This then means that they have the ability to book a call straight away. They get an email follow-up, an SMS and or WhatsApp follow-up, and then they enter into all of your other follow-up systems. So this then means that all of your leads are tracked, every lead is followed up, and no lead is just ever sat there waiting for the next step.